Sometimes the truth a woman hides is the truth she hopes you never notice. And the strange part is that her silence often speaks louder than anything she could ever admit out loud. Most men think they'd instantly know if a woman wants to sleep with them, but they're usually wrong, because the real signs never show up in loud, sexy, obvious ways. They hide in the quiet moments, the pauses, the way she lets herself slip around you when her mind is already drifting to a place she pretends she isn't thinking about. And here's the part most men never see. When a woman is truly open to sleeping with you, she doesn't say it. She shows it in ways she hopes you feel but never call out. Today, psychology reveals what she actually does when that desire takes over, even if she disguises it as something innocent. So sit back and listen close, because these signs aren't tricks or fantasies. They're the small truths her body speaks before her mouth ever will. Let's start from the moment things shift. It usually begins so quietly you'd almost miss it. She doesn't flirt harder, she doesn't touch you more. Instead, she lets the version of herself she normally keeps tucked away slip into the room. The unedited version, the raw version, the version she only shows behind closed doors. She stops filtering her words, stops trying to look perfect, stops worrying about how she's coming across. She laughs a bit messier, she swears without thinking, she tells you the off-record version of her stories. And this isn't her being comfortable. This is desire disarming her. This happens only around a man she feels sexually safe with and open to. That small shift tells you she's not guarding herself anymore. She trusts the space between you, and trust, that's the doorway to intimacy. Then something else happens, something she doesn't notice she's doing. She stops protecting certain areas of her body. Women instinctively guard their most vulnerable zones, the sides of the neck, the waistline, the inner arms, the hips. These aren't just cute body parts. These are primal protection zones. But when she begins to feel that spark, she'll expose them without realizing it. Maybe she tilts her head while listening to you, leaving her neck open. Maybe she shifts her torso and reveals the soft part of her waist. Maybe she angles her hips toward you, even while pretending she didn't. She's not trying to look sexy. She's dropping the shield. And you can't drop a shield unless you trust the warrior standing in front of you. And then there's the moment no man ever pays attention to, the transitions, doorways, tight spaces, narrow gaps, that second when you both have to move around each other. Women are hyper aware of distance in these moments. Most will subtly step aside, shift away, create space. But not her. Not the woman who's open to sleeping with you. She'll pause just slightly too long when walking through a doorway, so you pass close behind her. Or she won't move aside when you brush past. Sometimes she lets your arm graze her body when she could have easily stepped away. These tiny moments are green lights, not accidents. She's not forgetting to move. She's allowing closeness. Something even more revealing comes next. Her eyes change. Women always notice a man's body before he notices how she's noticing. But when she's thinking about crossing that line with you, her gaze stops being simple eye contact. It becomes something deeper. She starts scanning, not sexual, undressing you with her eyes. People misunderstand that. It's more like she's evaluating how it would feel to be with you. She looks at your hands, your shoulders, your frame, your mouth, the little details of your face. She's not avoiding your eyes now. She's letting you catch her looking. That is not attraction. That is allowance. She's placing you in the category she rarely says out loud, I would. Her breathing gives her away too. Women regulate their breathing when they're unsure or uninterested, steady, controlled, calm. But with you, something shifts. Maybe her breath gets a little deeper, or she pauses too long after inhaling, or she exhales a little slower right after you lean close. She's not trying to hide arousal anymore. And arousal doesn't always mean she wants something right now. It means she's open to the possibility, and openness is everything. Then comes the one sign men almost always miss. She lets your touch linger. Not her touching you, yours. Because when a woman doesn't want anything to happen, she breaks touch instantly. Even if she likes you as a person, her body does a quick exit, but not here. If you place your hand on her lower back for just a second and she doesn't step forward, that's her signal. When her hand stays against yours longer than necessary, that's permission. When she doesn't pull her arm away after you brush past her, that's interest. The absence of resistance is still an answer. She's saying you could go further if you wanted to. But it's never just touch. She starts letting you lead her in small ways. Nothing dramatic, little things. She waits for your cue while walking through a crowd or pauses at a crosswalk for you to move first. She stands just slightly behind you on stairs, letting your presence guide her. Women only do this when they're imagining what it would feel like to let you lead in more intimate moments. If she didn't want you, she'd keep control. She'd avoid following your signals. But she's letting herself feel what it's like to trust your direction. It's subtle, but it's powerful. And then the shields fall away, one by one. The drink she was holding near her chest goes onto the table. The purse she had in her lap moves to the side. The phone she kept in her hand gets placed face down, her arms uncross. Her body angles toward you fully. These tiny moves tell you the same truth. I'm not protecting myself from you. When a woman lowers her shield, she's not relaxed. She's receptive. There's also a moment when she adjusts how she looks, not before she sees you, but after. Maybe she fixes her hair midway through the conversation, or subtly checks her reflection in a window, or adjusts her top. She's not doing this for attention. She's trying to look like the version of herself she'd want you to see if things went further. The timing gives her away. It's not planned. It's reactive, a response to desire. And finally, the most powerful sign of all, the one no one talks about, the one that speaks louder than any word she'll ever say: stillness. There's a moment, soft, quiet, slow, where she stops moving. Her breathing softens, her shoulders relax, her eyes linger on yours a little too long. Her body pauses as if she's waiting. That stillness isn't nerves, it isn't confusion. It's anticipation. She's giving you the moment. She's telling you without words, I'm here, I'm open. The next move is yours. Women don't offer that kind of moment unless the thought of sleeping with you has already crossed her mind. They only do it when the door is open, when the desire is real, when the spark has already landed. And if you've ever seen that stillness, you know exactly what I'm talking about. If this video helped you understand her better, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Your support helps more than you know. And if you want to go deeper into female psychology, watch the next video on your screen. It will show you things most men never notice. Thanks for watching, buddy.